Greetings from the northern and western region of Ireland. Our region is the more rural and less developed of the two regions in this country, and as such is an ideal region for inclusion in the Trinno project. Ourselves in the Northern and Western Regional Assembly and our friends in Westvic are the Irish partners in the Trinno project. Our stakeholder group includes representatives from the rural counties of Cavan, Leitrim, Longford and Roscommon, and some of those stakeholders are going to introduce their learnings and actions from the Trinno project to you in a moment.
Good afternoon, my name is Leanne Connell and I'm the manager at Cavan Digital Hub. Cavan is a rural county located on the border with Northern Ireland. Like many rural regions in Ireland, Cavan struggles with retaining enterprise regionally. Poor broadband capacity and competition from city regions have traditionally challenged counties like Cavan, located just 90 minutes from Dublin. In particular, there was a significant regional gap in the availability of modern infrastructure and connectivity to attract and anchor the next generation of knowledge enterprises. Taking a collaborative approach as a new way of addressing the issues, the stakeholders in the Trinno project worked on developing a proposal for linked digital innovation hubs to be located in the main towns across this largely rural region. This resulted in the approval of significant funding for our ambitious plans. In Cavan, we have managed to complete our Digital Hub project in the timeframe of the Trinno project, which will complement centres that are underway in the other local counties. Here in Cavan, we have developed 12,000 square foot of space and put in place a support ecosystem to foster digital enterprise and jobs. Opening our doors in June 2019, we offer a combination of private offices and hot desks with capacity for up to 90 users. Starting off with 3 companies, we have grown to now support 8 companies and numerous other desk users, many of whom are young entrepreneurs. Within the first 6 months of operating, we welcomed our first US-based company, Public Relay, to Cavan Digital Hub. They have grown their staff base here from 2 to 15 and are still recruiting. Cavan Digital Hub was formed to encourage employment opportunities in the digital sector, where individuals and companies with a digital focus can network and grow within a community of support and creativity. We continue to promote the digital economy in Cavan and its environs, offering flexible work solutions to companies, incubation space for digital startups to scale and grow, and encourage peer-to-peer networking and collaboration amongst our client base. We continue to work collaboratively with our neighbouring counties in a regional approach to facilitate the growth of this rural region.
My name is Louise Ward from Roscommon Local Enterprise Office, which has been a stakeholder in the Trinno project from the outset. The food sector is a key employer in the west of Ireland, with over 4,000 people currently employed, mostly in primary production. At the same time, there is a significant potential for increased enterprise and employment in the value-added food sector. However, gaps exist in terms of available infrastructure and ecosystem services required to foster the food sector in the west of Ireland. Through the Trinno inter-regional learning visits and staff exchanges, we learned a lot from the other regions involved in Trinno, including visits to Barcelona and to Florence, where we got an insight and understanding of how the food sector is supported in those regions. From the inspiration received and taking a collaborative approach across the stakeholders, we have now prioritised the food sector for a range of supports in Roscommon through our ERDF, our Measure 1 and Measure 2 supports, including grants, training and other soft supports. We have received approval of 1.6 million for the development of a 10,000 square foot new food hub in County Roscommon, including food units, training kitchen and other services. We are expecting this centre to foster and support new food entrepreneurs, creating at least 20 new food enterprises in the area and resulting in the creation of 200 direct and indirect jobs. We plan to continue to develop the ecosystem supports for the food sector to ensure that it will flourish into the future. The Trinno project has also inspired us to look at the development of a new modern infrastructure to support the next generation of enterprises for our region. Building on our local strengths, Roscommon County Council, which is our local authority here, has invested in the purchase of a large building that will be converted into a life science hub to support the next generation of enterprises in that sector that is important for our region. This centre comprises 14,000 square foot and will have 8 individual units and 15 hot desk spaces, along with a foreign direct investment landing space of 7,000 square foot. It is aimed at supporting 23 enterprises and 50 jobs as part of a regional approach to foster sustainable economic growth for the future.
Shiva Karja, which in Irish means hello my friends. My name is Michael Nevin from the local enterprise office in Longford, one of the Irish partners involved in this project. I want to say hello to everyone who was involved in the Trinno project, all the friends that we made across Europe, across the different countries and regions, and to say that we thoroughly enjoyed the programme. We're very grateful to our partners in Europe for sharing their knowledge and their expertise, for exchanging information that helped us to drive forward some of the projects that we've been developing here in Ireland for the last number of years, particularly in the areas of ICT infrastructure and micro-food enterprise. In terms of co-working spaces or digital hubs, in Longford we've decided to develop a digital hub in a small urban centre, population about 1,500 people. The local authority purchased a building which was formerly a bank that had closed its doors in the heart of town and donated the building to the local community, and the local community group are now in the final stages of preparing a co-working space to accommodate about 30 different people. Hopefully that will facilitate co-working, hot desking, provision of micro enterprise office spaces, and to accommodate people who are looking to work outside of the main urban centres, which are primarily the large centres on the east coast of Ireland, and who'd like to work closer to home. So that's a very exciting project. It's due for completion in March 2021, and much of the learning we got from Trinno has helped to shape that project and helped to influence how we might present it to the marketplace. In terms of small-scale food production, we also have an ambitious plan to build a food hub in another small community, population about 1,200 persons. We have raised over €2 million to support, from grants and external finance, to support the construction of a 15,000 square foot building that will hopefully foster new enterprises in small-scale food production. Those are enterprises who want to grow food locally, who want to harvest food locally, who want to produce that food and sell it to local and regional markets. All the time we're thinking about supporting the sustainable food production, reduction of food miles, the adoption of new technologies, and of course supporting the climate change agenda, which is so important. So that project will hopefully come on stream towards the end of 2021, and again, much of the learning and the guidance we have around that project came from the Trinno partners. And once more, I'd like to thank the Trinno partners for their time and for collaborating with us. We made some great friends in the different countries, in Italy and Spain and Hungary and Slovenia, and friendships that I hope will endure. We learned a lot from those partners. We hope that if you come to Ireland in the future, you'll see the fruits of your effort when you see these new pieces of infrastructure on the landscape, which are so important for our local communities and keeping our local communities alive and thriving. And the Trinno project has been a great success for us. I hope it's been a success for all the partners. I hope that whatever projects you're working on, you deliver them on time, on budget, and that they turn out to be very fruitful. And I hope for the same in Ireland, of course, and for my own small county in Longford, we have two very exciting projects, and hopefully they'll be a success. So the best of luck to everyone.
Hello, this is Joe O'Hare from the local enterprise office in County Leitrim. Leitrim may be the most rural county in Ireland, but the Trinno project shows us that it can also have the most potential. This is especially true in these rapidly changing times accelerated by the current coronavirus pandemic. Working remotely and living in less dense rural regions is now viewed as a viable alternative to centralised economic models that are based around cities and urban centres. Here in lovely Leitrim, some of you already have visited, and I hope you enjoyed your stay and have seen our food centre located in the small town of Drumshambo. This is a model of good practice for supporting small food enterprises in rural regions. I'm happy to report that it has already supported 12 food enterprises and creating over 100 jobs. We're continuing to prioritise the food sector and have been approved for funding to implement our plans for a major expansion of the centre. This includes the development of a 12,000 square foot unit, developing 6 additional units and with an investment of up to €1.5 million. We're also fostering digital and knowledge enterprise through the expansion of the Hive enterprise. We intend to develop an additional 5,000 square foot in line with needs of remote working. This is located in Carrick-on-Shannon, which is the largest town within the county. And together with the digital hubs that are underway in my colleagues in Longford and Cavan, neighbouring counties, these will be linked through a range of ecosystem services and other joint activities, and will add to the capacity to support an increasing number of enterprises to locate to this region, addressing regional imbalances whilst capitalising on the opportunities for remote working and relocation of enterprises arising from the current pandemic.
The Irish Trinno Action Plan was signed by the ERDF Managing Authority on the 26th of July 2019.